I didn't watch the movie in Spanish. I saw a video of him recording the lines in Spanish.
Me soy Groot.
Yo.
Me, yo. No, I don't know Spanish well
quiero
enough to
Groot.
know what I'm supposed to replace.
Okay, hold on.
I want Groot. It's all consuming.
Bring me the Groot.
Yo soy Groot.
There it is. Thank you.
Yeah, that's the one. So I put together a topic today.
Wow.
I watched about half a documentary.
Wait, hold on. Who are you?
That's
Tanner.
my job. Oh.
And who are you?
Groot. I am Groot. Yo soy Groot. I'm Emily.
And I'm Norm.
And we're no,
Our powers combined, we are disappointing.
the Wonder Twins.
We are a disappointment. That's a little too real.
Yeah, a little bit, yeah. So I put together a topic, and here's the thing. It's a little scattered. My notes, that is. The topic itself is not all that scattered. So I'm going to go through this, and I'm going to do it as best as I can with the different timelines that we have going on here. Okay?
Wait, I have a suggestion.
Yeah.
Feel free to say no.
Okay.
Just numbers.
No.
It's in paragraphs?
No. It's in an outline.
Okay. Just number sections 1 through, I don't know, 7. And we'll just call out a number.
Number
And
generator.
you...
So here's how it ends. Now let's get started.
All right, go ahead, man.
Okay, so before we get started,
Oh boy.
how do y'all feel about government conspiracies?
I feel that they are, I wouldn't say often true, but enough.
There was a comma, and then more sentence.
Well, you pause really long.
That's what a comma
And
denotes.
but this
Wait,
is
so
an
do-
audio medium. You can't just pause for too long. I
Wait,
jumped in.
But what if I feel strongly about one, but not strongly about the other, but you asked in one question?
That's fair. How do you feel about government conspiracies, comma?
That was still too big of a break, even between the comma.
That's what a comma's for. Mind control and video games.
Is this what I think it is?
I'm sure that it is.
The government
Word.
tracks my blood.
What?
So I just keep thinking about all the people who are worried about the government tracking them, like microchips
Yeah.
in the vaccines.
My
and
blood
stuff.
is magnetic now.
It's like the government's been tracking us.
Hey,
You're tweeting this from your iPhone.
Yeah.
Let's not alienate our fan base, all right?
Wait till they hear about driver's licenses. They're gonna have
Well,
a
okay.
fit.
Here's the thing, though, right? A lot of like hardcore libertarians. What are they called? Like when they're like extra
Sovereign
hardcore.
citizens?
Sovereign citizens. They just don't have driver's licenses.
Yes. I'm
So-
familiar with them. I find them irritating.
Yeah, I listen to. Anyway, I'm just saying like that.
The
bit,
Articles of Confederation are not a document that we still officially abide by.
or
We
recognize.
got rid of that with the Constitution. Okay, look, I'm not going down that rabbit hole. That's not what this is about.
Ooh,
We will later.
another episode idea.
New World Order. Is that what you're gonna say?
The Illuminati. No, this is about
The globalists.
a little game called Polybius.
I knew it. Nice.
Yeah, of course you did.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know it.
Okay, perfect. That's about what I expected. So Polybius was supposedly an arcade game. It came around in 1981 at a few select arcades in Portland, Oregon.
Oh, wait, I know this.
Yeah, there it is. Hopefully I'll have some information you don't know. Okay, so it was an arcade game, 1981, Portland, Oregon. Couple of, and this
Don't
is a
you mean
quote.
1984? Bah, bah, bah.
I don't get that.
No.
1984, the book.
1984
George
is almost a key date in this, though.
Word.
Almost. but not really. Actually, I didn't even write it in my notes.
So it's not.
And this is a quote. It appeared at a few backwater arcades in Portland, which I don't
It's Portland.
think of backwater when I think of Portland. I think of gentrification when I
Right,
think
but
of
in the
Portland.
80s.
That's true. I didn't see it in the 80s.
So
Or ever, for that matter. So, I could be wrong.
you seen Portlandia?
Yeah, I guess a little bit.
So then you've seen Portland.
Yeah, fair enough. I can't.
I'm
pay
just
attention
saying
when
things
that
I've never
show's
been
on.
either. So like, please don't come after me.
Sorry, Oregonians.
Ew, no, really?
Not all of them, just Portland.
What? No, not the lizard people from Skyrim. this is just people that live in Oregon.
Is that their name? Really?
Yeah.
No, not their name, but that's what they're called.
Yeah, that's what they're called.
Say it again.
Oregonians.
They chose that.
Well,
I don't know if they did.
All right.
do you choose it or is it just like, I think there's like a list of rules that you just like, okay, if it ends in this, you're in Ian.
Well, so I'm. To be fair, I'm from Indiana, and we call ourselves Hoosiers.
Yeah, that's completely off the wall.
That's fair.
But that,
Continue.
to be fair, it's Indiana.
Yeah.
I can say that because my dad was kind of from there.
Also, I've got it on good authority that Hoosiers don't discriminate. So
Is that a reference to something?
it is. It's a reference to our vice president when he was pressed on the issue of discrimination.
Oh.
His answer was, "Come on, Anderson. Hoosiers don't discriminate."
I have to go lay down.
Come on. Come on.
Come on. What about corn pop?
I'm surprised I found a way to work that into this. Thank you. So here's like an overview of the game, based on just the secondhand accounts.
Wait,
that
can
we
I
have,
give a
right?
quick summary? My quick summary?
Yeah.
What? Pew pew.
Yeah, that's
You're
pretty,
ours
that's
now.
pretty much it. No, so it was actually supposed to be really complex. It was a fast action game with puzzle elements, although the gameplay's been really hotly debated and there isn't anything established. Mm-hmm. So it was supposed to be really similar to what was that game called? Tempest, which is where you basically are on the outside of a circle facing in, and you spin around and shoot.
Oh yeah,
toward
yeah,
the
yeah.
middle. Yeah. So one thing that was different about this one was that it had vector graphics, or it was supposed to have had vector graphics, which, do y'all know what that means?
Nope.
Or should I go into that a little bit?
Please.
Do you know what vector formatting is for?
Let's assume that our
Okay.
listeners don't.
Okay.
Because obviously we know.
I'm
right?
smart. I know
But,
teams.
like, our listeners might not because our listeners come from a diverse background of giving birth to different ones of us.
So,
What? All right.
yeah.
I'm trying to say it's
I get
just
what
our
you're saying.
moms.
Oh.
So when you save an image on a computer, in like PNG format, for instance, it saves as a grid of pixels, and the coordinates are just marked with different colors, right?
I'm sorry, I did
I'm
forget
getting
to
this
listen for a minute.
this stare from Norm, like he's not following.
I realized I was staring at you like that. I'm like, oh no, he's gonna think I'm dumb.
You get what I'm saying,
Yeah.
right? So if you take that image and like blow it up really big, eventually you'll see the pixels.
Yeah.
You'll see the rough edges. So vector images are saved as equations. So a line in vector would be saved as start here, do math, end here.
Yeah.
So you can blow it up as big as you want, and it's never going to get pixelated, basically. There were games that had vector graphics, arcade games. They're usually the ones that look like outlines of stuff. I'm sure you can picture one right now because I can't think of one to name.
Yeah.
So it was cool. Vector games were cool back then because they looked better than pixel sprites.
Yeah.
Which is what other games were. So it was supposed to have vector graphics, which was advanced-ish for the time. Fast action gameplay with puzzle elements like we talked about. Also subliminal messages flashing every now and then.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, super cool stuff.
Obviously.
And another big thing about the game was that people who played it tended to have physical side effects like night terrors, seizures, amnesia.
That's just being a gamer,
death.
bro.
That was one of them.
I feel like that playing Minecraft.
Yeah.
Dead. Fair enough.
I'm looking for something on my phone. I
What are
promise
you
I'm not
looking
just-
for on your phone? Because
Well,
I
it's a
would like your
surprise.
attention.
I am listening a little bit.
Oh, migraines. That was one of the symptoms I forgot to say.
Oh,
Did
I
I
got
say
those.
Have you been playing any weird arcade games?
Have you seen my apartment? I usually am.
Fair enough. Another rumor about it was that every now and then, Men in Black would come and collect data from the machines and then leave.
Great movie.
Truth.
Yeah. Not those, probably. But I can't confirm that Will Smith did not, at this time, have that job.
Fair enough. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure. Well,
This would
how
have been
old is
pre-Fresh
he?
Prince.
Well, obviously.
Yeah. Where
'Cause
was
he was-
Will?
He was a teenager in Fresh
I
Prince.
demand
right?
to know.
And
I'm
that
gonna
was in the
tweet him.
90s.
Was it?
yes?
Because he's just been 20 his whole life
Well,
and
now,
still is.
Yeah. Well, no. Now he's like
He's
40.
like 28. Oh.
He looks like a man now instead of a teenager.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. I still think he looks pretty young.
I mean, yeah,
Remember
because
when he
he's
had-
actually like
Like
in his-
maybe mid-30s.
Remember when he had that mustache in Pursuit of Happiness? That was a weird Will.
Vaguely.
Yeah.
I saw that movie once when it came out and was like,
That's one that I
no.
don't think I'll
What?
see.
You didn't like that movie?
it was good. It was just really a bummer.
Wait, didn't we
And
talk
that's
about Will
why
Smith
I
last?
won't
Yeah,
watch it.
probably.
Okay. All right. Moving on.
Okay, so y'all get a pretty good idea of what we're looking at here. Now, the cabinet was supposed to be a blank black cabinet with just the name across the top.
Okay.
Polybius.
Polybius.
Across the top in a stylized font. Pretty cool, actually. I've looked at it a lot. I like it. There are some canon details from the story and some not canon details because the internet. The canon details are that timeline, 1981, the gameplay, fast action, puzzle elements. We have a single photo of the cabinet that's considered canon. It's pretty blurry, black and white, and it's found on the Killer List of Video Games website for their listing for the game.
Killer list or list of killer?
Killer List of Video Games.
It should be killer list of killer video games.
That's too many.
I don't care.
Yeah. So anyway, that's where that photo comes from. I actually went to the website and inspected the metadata for the photo. Did not get anything interesting from it. Can't find the date that went up or anything like that, but it's considered to be the one canon shot of the cabinet that we have.
Nerd.
That's cool.
There's another canon photo of the launch screen or the home screen, I guess, what's sitting there.
Yeah.
Start screen.
Start screen, yeah. It is just the stylized title. Copyright, and I'm going to try not to butcher this, but it is German. Zinneschlergen,
Well,
which is the company that owned the copyright on the title screen. Now that's two German words, but not a word when you put them together. But roughly that would translate to remove senses, sensory deprivation, something like that.
Okay.
There's also just a credit counter. Credits 0.
Yeah.
That's what it shows in the one official screenshot that we have that's considered canon.
Sure.
So that's where we're at. How are y'all following so far? Emily has not looked up from her phone the entire
but
time.
I'm
we've been
listening.
here. Weigh in.
I'm looking for something.
Pretty sure she's on the Target website.
No, I'm not.
I see. It looked like her Photos app.
Yeah.
What are you looking for?
Well, I'll tell you when I find
He's
it.
standing next to an actual arcade cabinet. Oh, this thing? Yeah, I know.
In Oregon. He's an Oregonian the whole time.
Oregonian.
Okay. But everyone's like
Yeah.
following.
Yes.
Well, see, it's just hard to tell.
I'm nodding.
I'm here, Tanner.
All right, fine.
You're doing a great job, Tanner.
Keep it up, Tanner.
Woo!
So now we're going to go through some timeline stuff, and I'm going to do the timeline of the reporting on it kind of backwards.
Okay.
Okay.
Because, so it got pretty popular in the mid-2000s, really popular in the 2010s, still very popular now. But before that, it's an interesting trail of how we first started hearing about it online, at least, right?
Sure.
Sure.
So I'm going to start in 2005. Wikipedia page for Polybius game is created. That is the beginning of that trail. 2004, before the Wikipedia page was created, a reference to the Wikipedia page was added to the page for Polybius, the Greek historian.
Okay.
So the reference was made, and then the page was made a year later.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
correct. And then 2003, I believe, 2003, the game was featured in GamePro magazine as one of their. They did a article on like real or fake.
Okay.
It
That's
was
our thing.
the last entry in the article, and the determination was, we don't know. Could be real, could be fake. We don't know.
That's a cop
Who's
out.
to say?
So they were sent the information from another website where basically it was a website like Reddit where they were talking about a link on CoinOp, which is a website for arcade collectors. It's like repair guides for cabinets and names and dates and build guides and all that stuff, right? So it had a CoinOp page that had the date on the article as 1998. So apparently the first mention of this was in 1998. But the documentary I watched, the guy actually went through the Wayback Machine, and he went to the first image. He had to go through, so much trouble. I feel bad even talking about it. You should probably just watch his video because he deserves the views. But he had to
What's it called?
go through. It was called Polybius, the game that never existed,
Okay.
on YouTube.
I may have watched.
It is free. I
YouTube is
watched
free.
half of it. So he went through every iteration of the URL for that because it had changed several times. And he was able to find the earliest snapshot of the post in 2000 with no screenshot. So that seems to have been added later. And that was like, because that was on the initial post, that's why it's considered canon. It was added later, so that's a thing, right?
Okay.
So 2000, the earliest post that we can confirm. Now the date 1998 is a placeholder that is on several other games on the website. It's what happens when you don't input a date. So that's where that came from. Now, that's pretty much all the history that we're going to talk about as far as that. I want to get on to Stephen Roach.
Sure. Tell me about it.
Ew.
Yeah, gross name, not real probably either. But he
Good.
claims to have worked on the game. Yeah, and he's got a whole long post. I could hear. It's this.
Oh.
Oh.
Is that where did he post that on?
So initially he posted it on, I can't remember what the website is, but it's what they had before Reddit.
Okay, so this was
This is pre-Reddit.
Yeah, it was, I can't remember what it's called. But it was like a forum website.
sure. This is like year wise. We're looking at like before the tens.
Yeah, this would have been a long time ago.
Okay.
The early aughts.
So this would have been 2003.
Okay.
Now, he posts this whole long thing about how he created the German name for the company that I'm not going to try again because of the response I got last time.
Well, to be fair, I was laughing at you, not with you. So.
Oh, okay. That's better then.
Yeah.
So he talks about how he was born in Wales, moved to the Czech Republic as a kid because his parents' business interests brought them there. Lived in the Czech Republic, came up with that name as part of a secret company that he was supposed to work for. Developed the game and intentionally put these effects into it. He was studying the effects of games on the brain. All of that stuff. He lists people who worked with him on it, one of which was the person who supposedly named the game, Polybius, who was a fan of Greek mythology.
Aren't we all?
Yeah.
We all had that phase.
I mean, it's really long. Like, I could go through the whole thing. Anyway, it was supposed to be a bunch of amateur developers working for a shady organization based out of South America to create a mind control video game.
This sounds like a terrible movie plot.
It does.
Funny
We're
you
getting
should
to
mention
that.
that.
So that was his whole thing. He posted that. He was a developer. Anyway, there were a lot of comments back and forth on that thread. Some old, some newer, some from accounts that were very new when the post was created. It turns out he was posting from multiple accounts.
Okay.
Yeah.
We all do that.
It's the internet.
Yeah, well, he got caught because they were all coming from the same IP address, and a mod called him out in the comments. And one of the ones was his actual account.
Okay.
So again, the documentary that I watched, he actually traced that back, found the guy who owns that IP address, found him on Twitter, and called him out on Twitter, privately, I assume, saying, hey, I know this is you, cop to it for my documentary. And the guy said no.
Oh.
Yeah, so we're pretty sure we know who this is and that it is fake, but can't be positive. But it is. That was him, and it's fake.
How much like time you had to do like crafting this narrative?
Crafting the narrative probably took longer than
Execution?
crafting the game would have taken. I mean,
So
well,
you're saying he might as well have just made the game.
yeah.
Yeah, just make the game now.
Well, he also so there's another name that comes up a lot, which was something Yogi. I can't remember.
Bear?
Not the bear. It comes before Yogi.
What you thought Yogi was his first name?
Cyber Yogi.
Okay.
So
Yeah, why not?
I can't get this image out of my head.
a yogi is a person who likes yoga, right?
Oh, Cyber Yogi Bear.
Yeah, I'm trying to like come up with the voice, but I don't think I could do it confidently.
Like, one of those eye things, you know?
That's exactly.
So anyway, I don't have the picture
Like
I
he
was
was in
looking
the
for,
show
so.
Reboot, is what I'm picturing.
No, it's the crossover with the Jetsons.
The entire Hanna-Barbera universe.
Yeah.
Which, never mind. I'm not going to get into that debate.
Cross Terminator.
It's all the same universe.
Yeah, what were you looking for?
I've seen a Polybius machine. They had one at one of the cons I've been to.
Yeah. A lot of people really like to make them now as sort of a...
Yeah, and it had a cute little
fun
out of
project.
order sign on it, which was really funny. I just wanted to show you guys, but I guess I didn't take a picture of it.
That's very funny.
I mean, I'm pretty sure you can Google it and probably find that, right?
Yeah, but like it's different, right?
Yeah, no, it's different. I get
Yeah.
it, but I'm just gonna Google it.
Yeah, I could have, and I realized that halfway through my pictures, but I was like, I've come this far.
Emily, can you please stop interrupting Tanner? Please.
No,
fine.
what
No,
else am I here for?
It's fine.
That's why I showed up.
So Cyber Yogi was supposed to be one of the people who faked it. I'm getting a drink after. Actually, Norm, will you get me a drink? I'm stuck in here.
I gotta get out of here. I can't. Just say Yogi. Stop saying Cyber Yogi.
So Cyber Yogi was supposed to be one of the people who faked it. He was good at faking these kind of things. He frequented these forums, and he was big into obscure arcade games and things like that. And it was believed that he did this as an April Fool's joke. But he has a well-documented and elaborate April Fool's joke from that year when he supposedly would have done this. So maybe he did, maybe he didn't.
Look, there was a recession in 2004. That's not true. It was 2008. But I'm just saying.
We were coming into it, though, you know?
Yeah, he could have been unemployed and nothing
warming
else
up.
to do.
You're in like kindergarten, right?
Well,
What year was it?
he's also German. So
Well, aren't they like perpetually? I actually don't know anything about German economics.
I don't either. Seems like they're doing okay.
They seem to be now, yeah.
They make
I know
don't know.
I know of at least one lull. But
So I don't know what to do with that. I gotta be
it
honest.
was after a world war or something.
Please, Tanner, go on.
Look, if you keep leaving this just hanging space in the air, I'm going to take it. And I'm going to say dumb things about the world wars. That's what we've learned here.
So we're going to go through some problems with the story right now.
Sure.
Uh,
Sorry, what are we talking about? I haven't been
Polybius.
listening. Okay,
Yeah.
okay. Oh, that's right, that's right.
Polybius and Cyber.
So, aside from the fact that the government probably would not make an arcade game to try to mind control people.
Instead of a picnic basket, he's looking for cookies.
That's mildly good.
That's a high praise.
I'll take it. Yeah, coming from you. Wow.
So let's talk about some problems, like I said.
Yeah, please.
The first one is one of the common threads among the many gameplay accounts is concentric circles, which at the time you couldn't do with vector graphics. So there's that.
Circles are hard.
Circles are hard. I don't know why. Actually, I just read that. So,
Aren't you a developer?
not a good one.
Fair. But can you do circles?
I can do circles on paper. I don't know how I would make a circle from pure code on anything.
I could figure it out, but I'm just built different.
I would just import a circle as an asset and put it. Look, we don't have to get into that. So
Marty.
there's that. The Men in Black may or may not exist in any form.
They do.
Okay, sure, but
Well, you can't say in any form because they at least
they
exist
wear
in media.
suits. Well, okay, yes, in media. And people who work for the government tend to wear suits. But the shady organization, the Men in Black, may or may not exist in real life in
It
any
does.
form.
That's separate from what I said earlier. It does, though.
But even if they did, and they wanted to put an arcade cabinet in a public place to test the effects of something on the human brain, on kids, there's no way that they could get any usable data in an arcade in 1981 that they could remove from a machine once a week and take with them.
High scores, baby.
They could potentially take the high scores.
I mean, could they?
I mean, if they could make circles, what's stopping them?
That's true, but like, I mean, what information would they be taking?
I mean, the only thing I can think that comes to mind is like, I don't know, like recordings, but
Like
I don't-
videos?
Yeah, but I don't even.
Little hidden camera.
Well, you would like
That's just so much.
they would have to be like VHS tapes, and there would have to be a system for swapping them automatically. I'm sure something like that could have existed, but
Like it's the only
It's
only
reaching.
idea.
Oh,
that's the
for
only
sure.
thing I could come
but
up
this
with
whole
is
thing is
fair enough.
like you'll
Yeah.
have a guy that like he'll just constantly watch that machine and then flip a switch to turn it. I don't know.
Well, supposedly the machine had lines out the door the whole time it was there.
Oh.
So there was no shortage of people playing it.
which means a lot of witnesses to go, wow, they did really well.
Yeah. And a lot of people who should have been talking about it prior to 2000. But
No, they all died.
okay, or had amnesia
Boom.
Oh, dude, that was so common in like the 80s and 90s.
on soap operas.
I did
Yeah.
think that would be that's like the John Mulaney's quicksand
Quicksand?
thing. I thought amnesia would be a bigger deal than it is.
Apparently hard to get. I've tried.
I had a friend in high school that fell and hit his head really hard and like had amnesia, and I was like, huh, that sounds fake.
I remember I was a kid and I was on the jungle, the little monkey bars or whatever, and I fell and I was like, well, there goes like all of my life.
Yeah.
Not
Gonna have
because
to
I was
start
gonna die,
fresh
but-
from here.
Yeah, I was like, yeah,
I
just
have forgotten
go
everything.
ahead and start over.
Flush.
So another potential issue is with that. You remember that picture of the home screen that we talked about? Mm-hmm. Fun font.
Wasn't invented till the 90s.
Copyright, and then credit counter.
Yeah.
Well,
0 credits.
So
I was listening.
font was a thing, but
I know.
arcade machines didn't have the memory to display fun fonts or animations on the home screen.
Again-
So typically they would be plain text, and then the font would be written on the top of the cabinet.
What I'm saying is the government if they're putting any money into anything, top of the line, why not? Because
I mean,
it's a secret project anyway, and they can make circles.
Yeah.
So they can make...
But, like, computers at the time were roughly the size
secret
of a living room.
computers!
I guess maybe if it was backed up against a wall, they could put, like, a whole supercomputer
Well,
behind
and
it.
arcade machines typically are. Especially if there's a
Not
line
the
out
ones
the
that
door.
are backed up against each other.
Right, well, okay. But if you have a machine that's got a line out the door, you want that
Mirrors.
one up against the back wall so everyone has to, like, wait at different machines and spend money at the machines. Like milk and eggs at the back of the grocery store. I'm just saying.
Yes,
What?
that is why they do that.
All right. Well, I learned something today.
Also, Walmart frequently rearranges everything so that you have to look at everything to find what you're looking for.
Really?
And just
Yeah.
makes me
That's
mad.
interesting.
Yeah.
And then I go, I'm going to go to Target. At least I know where everything is.
I like.
I wore a red shirt to Target one time. Oh, what a nightmare. I wore a blue shirt to Walmart the other day, and some kid came up to me and asked if it was okay if they climbed in the toilet paper shelf. And their mom was down the aisle a little bit, and I said, "It doesn't bother me," and kept walking.
I like that Walmart has accepted that customers will not ask employees anything. Like they'll rather search for days and
Yeah.
Walmart for cookies and
They worked so hard making an app that's pretty good at helping with that because all their employees have AirPods in all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I've needed help at Walmart a couple of times. Usually I'll wander, but like, because GameStop was right there in the parking lot. And if I was running an errand for the store and I really needed to get back, it's like, okay, where are the mops? There are two A35s. Why are there two A35s? And why are they on opposite ends
One
of
of
the store?
them's for mops and one of them's not.
One of them's
So-
for light bulbs. And it's like, okay, I need a mop. I need a Swiffer thingy. Just give it to me. I'm trying to give you money. But they wanted me to give them more money. I think I did end up with some snacks. So
No, they got you.
they got
Another
me.
problem we didn't talk about
Uh-oh.
is so it's with that Stephen Roach guy, right?
Sure.
Yeah.
So he said that his friend came up with the name for the game Polybius because he was a big fan of Greek mythology. Mm-hmm. Polybius was a real person, a Greek historian
Yes.
who famously talked about historians should not report on what they cannot verify to be true.
Hilarious.
Yeah, which is a funny name for this game in retrospect.
Yeah.
So that's just a little Easter egg, I guess. Now, there are some mock-ups of the game that you can access right now.
How do you
In
spell
play.
Steven?
What?
I mean, there's a
I
couple
thought you
different
were
ways.
going to ask, like, how do you spell Polybius?
No, I know how
or
to
the
spell
German
Polybius.
word
I know how to spell Polybius. How do you spell that version of Steven?
with a PH.
Okay.
Steven.
Stephen. Stefan. And it's just...
How do you spell Steven?
What was that German word again?
I'm not doing it. Damn it. Sinneschlurgen.
I think it's good. I just was not expecting that sound to come out of your mouth.
Well, so the O has the umlaut on top of it, and I don't really know. That's supposed to be like an sound. It's a beautiful language.
Yeah.
Anyway, where were we? I got distracted.
All right, here's a
by
problem.
spelling Steven.
To be
Here's a problem. There's at least 149 people in the United States with the name Stephen Roach spelled like that.
What about in what country did I say it was from?
German?
Germany?
No, he was from the Czech Republic. Well, he was from Wales, but he lived in the Czech Republic.
Actually, I can find one for Wales, too.
There's one in the Czech Republic, but he's from America, and he runs a home for troubled boys or something in the Czech Republic. Anyway, not what we're talking about. Don't remember what we're talking about, but I'm pretty sure it's not that.
Well, that was
Oh, wait,
the
is
first
it
problem.
P-H-E-N
Or that was
or
the second problem.
A-N?
E-N.
Okay, good.
A-N would be Stefan.
I know, but like sometimes
But then it
people
would
are
have to
weird.
be an F, probably. I don't know.
You were saying the Easter egg of Polybius.
Oh, yeah. Oh, and then we're going to talk about some mock-ups, some versions you can play. Yeah. So there's one version that's pretty popular, especially with people who like to build the cabinet for fun. They'll usually put this on
Oh,
it.
sorry, that was for Sweden. There are no Stephen Roaches in Sweden, by the way.
So there's a version that was made, and it was released on the website zinaslersion.com.
Say that again, please.
It's so good.
I feel like I did okay that
No,
time.
you did great.
No,
and
I
want to
think
hear
all
it again.
times you were good. It's just I'm not expecting that.
Yeah. So it was released there, but that website clearly says this is not real. This is a fan-made thing. Like, this is just an homage.
That's what they want you to think.
Is it
So
fun?
that's why this is coming at this point in the story as opposed to earlier. So that one does include vector-like graphics with gameplay similar to Tempest, but it's really weird. It's trippy to look at, and it's a shooter. You spin around and you shoot toward the middle. The base has a geometric design with numbers on it, and then numbers will come out as part of the things that you shoot at, and if they match the middle or are, I think, squares of it or divisible by it or something,
I'm out.
and you shoot them, then the middle number will drop by that much, and when you get it to 0, you move on to the next level. So it is like puzzle elements.
That's too
Fast
much.
action.
It's too much for an arcade game.
It's like a puzzle bullet hell.
Is the numbers like kind of representing like the mind control aspect of it or something?
Well, no.
Critical
it was
thinking
supposed to
skills.
be puzzle heavy ish, and people believed that it was
An
a test
aptitude
of
test.
an aptitude test. And actually, the government did make a modified version of a game. I have a note on which one. I can't remember
Is
it.
it called I forgot the movie, so just let's move on.
Rudy.
Battlezone, which was like a vector graphics looking. You like Beachheads? Do you ever play Beachheads?
No, and also I thought you were answering my question. You were answering your own question.
A little bit.
What is that movie? It's Star something.
Citizen Star.
Like where
Superstar?
No, it's a movie where there's an arcade game and this kid does really well, and so he gets recruited, and they're like, by the way, you're like the galaxy's last hope. We have to go and fight.
That was an episode of Chuck.
Oh my god.
I think
No, I know what movie you're talking about. I can't remember what it's called. But like a lot of TV shows have done versions of it since it came out.
sure, but like there was a movie.
Pixel.
It wasn't Pixels.
That classic?
I know what you're talking about, and the name of the movie I think is the name of the game as well. In the movie,
Right.
I believe that was probably inspired by this.
Oh,
I'm trying to
What's the show? There's a show like that, the Future Soldier or something, right? That's the
Future Man.
Future Man. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking of. Never mind. What's up?
I don't remember. Puzzles.
Yeah.
We talked about puzzles. That was supposed to be a heavy element of it.
Yeah.
It was supposed to be like an aptitude test. The government did do a modified version of Battlezone as a training simulator for agents or soldiers, one of the two.
My
So
cousin joined, I don't want to get it wrong, one of the branches of military, and because he played so much Call of Duty, he actually got a medal for like sharpshooting
Nice.
because he had that skill. Starship Troopers, maybe?
No.
No. But they're the
wait,
same in my
hold
head.
on. Questions.
You haven't seen Starship Troopers?
I have. It's been like I watched it with my dad, so it's been a minute.
So he got a medal for playing Call of Duty?
No, like real life sharpshooting.
I don't.
He really carried the team that season.
I have a hard time believing those skills correlate.
Well, because it's like
So
your hand-eye coordination.
hand-eye coordination correlates, but there's a lot more that goes into shooting in real life.
Right.
But you can kind of learn the basics of how to use a gun
I also
from watching
well,
the animation, the reload animation.
I also did a research paper, and then obviously like it all flushed away as soon as I turned it in. But like games can help with that kind of thing. Like
Oh yeah,
there's a pretty high statistic of like if you play Call of Duty, you're gonna be a better sharpshooter or whatever. Like it correlates.
Interesting.
I
So
looked
puzzles.
up Star on IMDb because I'm trying to find that movie. It's not great.
So the game had a whole bunch of files. Someone actually went into it and data mined it, basically. There was a folder for a section of the game called Higher Functions. And in this game, which is fan-made, it does flash like subliminal messages.
Okay.
Consume, obey, stuff like that. So in the Higher Functions menu, which you can access by, and Polybius, by the way, also a type of cipher for encryption. If you put Polybius through a Polybius cipher and then take the numbers that it comes out to and put them in as a code, then you can access the Higher Functions menu. Yeah.
That's a fun little...
That's
little treat.
a cool little thing. And in there, there's a credit for the game. And
Guys,
what?
a movie released last year called Polybius.
Did it?
Well, an 18-minute short.
I think I saw that on YouTube. Anyway, I didn't watch it, but I saw it.
Bandersnatch?
It's Can you show me how it ranks?
So, if you put that in, you can go to the Higher Functions
Sure.
section, right? It has a credit to Igor, spelled with a Y. Oh gosh, Esuspañez, I guess would be the last name. Anyway, it's an anagram. If you rearrange all the letters, you get Rogue Synapse.
All right.
Right? Keep following.
Yeah.
We'll get there. It also had the numbers from Lost in the bottom,
That's funny.
I guess.
Yeah.
It probably would have been at the time.
Yeah, it was a big thing.
So the domain that the German domain was registered to an email address from Gawker Web, which links to Rogue Synapse, who is an arcade enthusiast and game developer.
Oh, okay.
So that's the whole trail uncovered right there.
Oh.
That's the guy who made it. It's pretty cool. It's an homage.
Have you played it?
I have not. I've seen a lot of gameplay of it
Okay.
in the last day. It looks pretty fun.
The Last Starfighter.
Yes, that's the one.
I just Googled a bunch of just random terms. It was like, game aptitude test Space Army.
The Last Mimsy.
You know, I saw that. I don't remember a thing about it.
I did not.
Something about an
Was that the one where the girl dies?
No, that was Bridge to Terabithia.
Bridge to
Spoilers.
Terabithia. I was going to say Bridge over the River Kwai.
That's a different thing entirely.
Yeah, it is. That's an actual thing from a war.
Also a movie.
Also a movie with
One of my dad's favorites.
Alec Guinness.
It's a bummer, isn't it?
Yeah, the movie?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's about prisoners of war being forced to build a bridge and march across a country to do it. So there's another version. There's a few other versions. I mean, obviously, it's a thing that people do.
Yeah.
One of them is just that home screen from the picture. And when you click a button, it says, ha ha, April Fools, and closes.
Oh, well, that's just
Yeah,
lazy.
isn't that dumb? And then it asks you to send it to a friend.
Well, when was this made?
It was around that time
Yeah.
So-
where stuff like that happened.
Yeah, it's like that's hilarious. Then you gotta look at it within context of the times.
I was there at the time, and I didn't think those things were funny.
No, I didn't either. Well, I did because I was like 7.
There was an Atari 2600 version
Yeah,
that was sold at the Portland Retro Gaming Expo in 2013.
yeah.
So, and it had subliminal messages, but they were on the screen for like a minute because the refresh rate of the Atari 2600. So they would flash for one cycle, but it was like you could read a paragraph. So there's that version. There's also a version on PSVR that is supposed to be very cool. It's very clearly just an homage.
Well, obviously.
And it features, it looks kind of like a rhythm bullet hell, kind of like Thumper or something like that. But it does feature subliminal messages, but they're mostly positive. Like, have a good cup of tea every now and then.
That's not fun.
Take a nap sometimes if you need one. Especially what? So those are the different versions that exist.
It's $16. I'm not buying that.
I would like to try it.
I would like to try it, but money's tight.
Maybe one of us can get it and we can all go through it.
That's true.
Let's see. Anything
We
else
both
that
have
I
VR,
haven't
huh?
talked about? Okay. So there are a bunch of videos as well of people finding the cabinet in abandoned arcades or something like that.
Of course.
Some of them cut to jump scares.
Hilarious.
Some of them cut to nothing. And all of them are fake.
Yeah.
However, the cabinet from the original Canon photo is not accounted for anywhere else. So all the ones
It's
in the
chopped.
videos, you can go, okay, that's this guy. He owns it. Here is it where it exists somewhere else, you know? That one's not accounted for. Could be shopped. Probably wouldn't be hard to do. But also, it's a good job if it is. Because I can't tell, and I'm pretty good at that. So they've matched everything pretty well. Oh, there's another game called Polyplay, which was a collection of arcade mini games that was
Featured polygons?
probably I believe popular in Germany, maybe released in Germany. Anyway, it's believed that a lot of people could be hearing the name Polybius, chiming into the conversation, remembering them playing Polyplay, and that's why the gameplay accounts are so different, and people think that they played it.
Oh, it's like Shazam. Wait,
what?
no.
Sinbad.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
Shazam, right? No,
Kazam.
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 There it is.
So there are a couple of theories here.
That was
That's
funnier in my
that's
head.
one of them. The Polyplay thing, that's one of the big theories.
Yeah.
The other one is it's all fake, intentionally fabricated. A third one is it's all real. Obviously, you got those two.
It's got the spectrum, huh?
Another
It's
one.
fake. It's real. It's a little bit of both.
Another one is unreleased games did sometimes get demoed in small markets.
Yeah.
So there is supposedly evidence of a few of these happening where like they would have the cabinet in an arcade, it would get caught in a news story or something in the background, but they never released the game and they would pull the arcade cabinet. This happened to Marble Madness 2, never released. But it did
Great.
exist.
Well, but if it was like consistently popular where, you know, there were lines out the shop to play it.
But if people were having physical issues from playing it.
Man, kids did with Lavender Town too, and they still play that.
Yeah.
This just okay. So maybe because like the way I kind of think of the thing is right is the government's done some wacky shit before.
Project MK Ultra?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I want to be. I want to be like, oh, that is bullshit. But also like,
Honestly, when was MK Ultra? It was like
70s? 80s?
yeah, it was around the same time as supposedly this. Like you can't go from something real goofy to MK Ultra. I feel like because MK Ultra was real. I don't. Oh, are we doing like verdicts yet? Or do we have more to say?
Can you explain like MK Ultra?
Yeah, the government gave a bunch of people LSD without telling them to try to control their minds. And denied it for a long time, but eventually they came out and were like, yeah,
You got it.
we did that.
Yeah, we did it. And also, it was predominantly not white neighborhoods they were doing that in. They were
Yeah.
like, what was it? They were contaminating the water supply.
Where were these quote unquote arcade cabinets?
Portland.
Portland. Okay.
Yeah.
Which is why I don't know if it's always been that way, but
I don't either. But my thing is,
I don't know a lot about Portland now that we're talking about it.
you would think with the news, especially in the late 80s and early 90s, being very, like,
Video games
games were hotly, they were debated on the Senate floor at this time.
They still are.
Yeah, but to a...
Well, when was the video game crash?
That was... Oh, hold on. I don't remember. When did E.T. come out?
1983 was the crash. So, like...
So this would have been before that.
But not much, right?
Oh, yeah. Also, 1984 was, I think, the first instance of specialized fonts being used on arcade cabinets.
Oh, okay.
Usually by Nintendo.
Well,
also,
that's Nintendo.
the cabinet in the picture is, and I didn't know this was a thing, a Capcom style cabinet. It is really, it's the same shape as Miss Pac-Man, Galaga, Galaxian, which is apparently like a distinct thing for different brands.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Interesting.
Yeah, it looks
That's
like
because we were all born in the 90s.
It looks like a Galaga cabinet with all the labels stripped off, basically.
Okay.
Also, there was another detail I was trying to remember. The font is really similar to a font used by Williams Gaming, who also made arcade games. It's almost an exact match, but the H is backwards. And that's pretty much it.
Stylized.
Where is there an H in Polybius?
It's in the German one.
I know, but I thought it would be funny to ask. No, I don't think this is real, but I think it's a cute story.
Hold up. This
is where she draws the line.
This is just... Emily, I have to say,
Yeah.
where you draw your lines are just...
My lines are squiggly, huh?
So I also don't
It's like
think
I'm an
this is real.
independent, free-thinking person.
I don't think this is real, but I think it's one of the least far-fetched things we've talked about.
I disagree.
I know you do.
But, well, like I was saying, like...
I think, if anything, it could have been some version of a game that was just never released.
Yeah.
Which isn't uncommon.
Well, I think that there was probably a popular game, and I think that... I mean, because there were a lot of urban legends with a lot of games like that. Like, oh, if you go to this level and you do this combo, then boobs will appear. Like, they kind of...
We're not talking about the last 25 years of gaming.
Right, this is a little before that. But I think that a lot of people, like, there wasn't... Media wasn't centered around gaming as much. I don't want to say media centered, but there's a gaming media now, and there wasn't back then. So a lot of things that people would hear about was word of mouth.
Yeah.
So then, like, oh, did you hear what's happening in Portland?
And that's
this
one of
crazy thing.
the big things here is there was no mention of it anywhere until 2000.
Right.
So.
I'm torn, honestly.
Also, Last Starfighter came out in 1984.
Also, Scott the Woz did a video
Yeah.
about this. And one of his points he brought up was how come no one mentioned it on the internet until 1991 or 98, whenever. That's when the internet happened.
Yeah, it's like that's
So,
when the internet became popular.
That makes sense. It's why wasn't it anywhere else?
Yeah.
And the guy that did the documentary, he detailed, he searched newspapers, magazines, books, all pre-2000, and wasn't able to find any mention of it.
I think it would be interesting to also try to do the same research for a game that we know exists.
And see what we come up with.
Yeah.
I also called my dad to see if he had heard of it. He hadn't.
Is this arcade Bigfoot?
This is arcade, but Bigfoot.
It's...
All
I'm
right.
not doing this.
No, it's Bigfoot,
refuse.
but arcade.
So anyway, yeah, I don't think it's real. I think it could have been, but it's a fun story.
I think it's fun.
Yeah.
It's cute. And
it's a cool thing
this
to
can
make
double
now.
as a C3 episode.
Oh yeah, it will. Don't get me wrong, it will. and I did that on purpose.
That's
a little
funny. We need to do that soon because they announced something today that I'm very excited to talk about.
I have no idea what you're talking
I
about.
texted you guys about
I
it.
haven't looked at anything.
Oh, I know what you.
I'm pumped.
Oh,
I don't
that?
think it
Yeah.
requires a whole episode, but also we still haven't talked about
Yeah.
E3.
Also, I don't think that's going to qualify for Game of the Year.
I think that you can eat my butt.
'Cause-
We make the rules.
Yeah, yes.
Language.
And I've
Okay,
decided no.
best ongoing game
So
because it should have won last year,
I
but you guys don't listen to me.
I think this is a rare one where y'all are like, nah, and I'm like, maybe. I don't think we've talked about anything like that before.
I don't think. I think the whole thing is made up, but I could see where it could have happened.
Yeah.
I think maybe small things from other places conglomerated.
And I definitely think it was made, like, at least as far as the name and the images, all fake. But as soon as you say it, I could see where people remember something that they really did play
Yeah.
and then start adding that on.
Oh, I could definitely see that.
You
Or
know?
even just exaggerate. Oh, I played Polybius. You know,
Yeah, this was the early days of the internet, so.
people can lie on the internet.
It was Usenet, by the way, where most of this was going on.
Oh,
Is there any actual data about video games where they can have those type of effects, even like now?
Well, yeah, I mean, there was Lavender Town in one of the Pokemons
First one?
Pokemon.
that caused seizures in a select.
Well, that was an
few
episode
kids.
of Pokemon
Was it an episode of
That was
Pokemon?
an episode.
because it had flashing lights.
So in games,
Games besides like epileptic warning. Needing
Like,
games.
I'm sure that
Games
yeah,
can bum you out.
Well, Cyberpunk.
yeah.
Because there's a pattern of lights that are there to deliberately induce a seizure, and that's what they used for the
Crazy how they didn't
The
think
thing.
that one through, huh?
yeah
For like the
headset that you wear, the BD
Yeah.
headset.
it's kind of like you it's kind of VR where you experience something else and it kind of induces you
Right.
into a seizure.
And the way
then-
that it's supposed to work
Or
in
not a seizure,
universe is
but
that it just stimulates your brain with
in the
lights.
right ways to
And-
make you feel like you're in the situation.
And the way that
but,
they portray that was by playing seizure lights out of the TV screen.
one of the reviewers for I think it was Game Informer actually, she had a seizure, a grand mal seizure, and she was like, "Hey guys, you want to fix that?"
no.
They have since, I believe, toned it down.
Oh, they patched it day one,
Yeah.
but that was part of the
So
huge patch.
that's a thing. As far as like night terrors, I don't know.
Night terrors for sure,
I played
but anything
Slender,
can cause night terrors.
and I'm fine.
I honestly, so this is my weird whatever. I would like to play a game with like subliminal messages and just not the seizures. You can keep that one.
All
but
right.
So I have one that's rumored to cause all that kind of stuff.
yeah.
It's called Sad Satan. It's another big
Yeah.
creepypasta.
You
internet
played
creepypasta.
Kanye. What is it, Kanye
That
2000
one's
or
weird.
something?
Yeah. Kanye released a game, and it has an
Or was
Easter
it
egg
him?
that still has not been solved
Yeah.
to this day.
Because people don't care. Or
It got updated recently, I
No.
think.
People do care,
People care a lot. It's
and
Kanye.
it's wild.
It's a weird thing.
Sad
There's
Satan?
a lot of Sad Satan's a different thing.
Oh.
But the Kanye
Yeah.
game, it's like got a lot of subliminal messaging, and well, you could, depending on you like how deep you want the subliminal messaging, like it's in a lot of games.
Yeah, I think he means like the intentional.
Oh yeah, like I get what you mean,
But
there's
Sad
a lot of
Satan
subliminal.
was meant to. It
Oh,
was
is that the yeah?
Kanye
okay, I know.
Quest?
Kanye Quest.
Kanye Quest, yeah. Sad Satan was made to demo a new video game engine called the Fear Engine, and I have
whole
it.
thing is fake.
It cost $1 on Amazon, by the way.
It's a whole fake thing.
Yeah,
Oh.
it's a creepypasta, but it is
My hat keeps hitting the
full
microphone.
of
I'm sorry.
subliminal
that you have to
messages,
edit
and
that.
it's supposed to cause like health issues and heart
doesn't.
attacks and all that stuff. There's a video of a haunted doll that's supposed to cause people to have physical responses, and every time that it comes on one of those compilations that I watch too much,
Yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah, Nuke is
here
like,
it comes.
yeah, Nuke
I'm
is
gonna
like,
get seizures.
You might want to look away.
And I just haven't yet.
These seizures are gonna be so sick.
I'm gonna feel ill.
Yeah, I haven't found any media that gives me a physical response.
I haven't either.
yet.
I've watched the Pokemon thing because I was like, I guess
Yeah.
it's, let's experience this.
Yeah.
Well, there was a Pokemon game that was supposed to have music that made people.
That was Lavender Town.
It's Lavender Town, but that's
But that
there's-
was like...
there's-
You said it was an episode of Pokemon.
No, you said that the seizures thing is a different
Seizures.
thing.
Oh, that was
Lavender
an episode.
Town is
Lavender
supposed
Town is
to,
supposed to
like,
make people like
Kill
queasy.
themselves.
Oh, I heard queasy.
There's
I've
a little bit of
heard-
everything.
Yeah, you just take a little bit of I was gonna say preparation age, but that's something completely different.
Dude.
What's the pink stuff?
Pepto.
Pepto. Yeah, take a little Pepto. That'll clear the Lavender Town sickness right out.
There are also like the notes, the tones that they use in the Paranormal Activity series are supposed to cause like a feeling of dread. Like they just play them during the scenes where nothing is happening. There's just a low tone that they play.
Yeah.
And it's supposed to vibrate your eyeballs
Well,
in a way that messes
have you
with
ever
Oh,
have you
my
ever
eyeballs.
watched one of those in theaters? Never mind.
I have.
Who am I talking to?
I have.
Well, what's the movie
I
that
have some
uses?
questions.
Yeah.
None that are pertinent to right now. I just need to ask you about that story later.
Okay.
What's the movie? It was the first movie to use like bees on like a low like hum.
Candyman.
No. I've heard like
I'm just saying stuff.
I can't remember which movie it is. It's an older movie, but they use like that buzzing sound, but at a very low frequency and very softly to instill like a sense of like unease.
I don't know. But it sounds like the sound that you hear in like Evil Dead when it's just doing establishing shots of like the cabin.
Yeah.
And you hear that kind of that. Yeah, it reminds me of that. I want to watch Evil Dead 2 tonight.
I looked it up, and it's a medical condition.
Bees?
Yeah.
Not the bees.
All right. Well,
What's a medical condition?
Well,
Bees?
I looked up low buzzing, unease, and it was like, that is tinnitus.
throw a movie
Oh,
on.
I'm familiar with
and then
tinnitus.
and then I looked up low buzzing of bees in movie, and the bee movie has popped up. So, but infrasound is what you guys are talking about. I'm pretty sure, because that's like a thing, kind of, but it doesn't work on everybody. So it's like,
Yeah, I got nothing. Anyway, that's my story.
Nice, man.
Polybius.
nice.
That's pretty cool.
Wow.
I really enjoyed that one.
Thank you.
I enjoy all of them.
It was fun to research.
Yeah.
Watched a lot of bad recreated gameplay.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Now I kind of want to play Tempest, though.
I'm actually gonna look it up.
Yeah, we can.
I want to get the VR one.
That's fine.
Anyway, we're at the end of the episode.
Hey, congratulations, listener! You made it to the end.
Thank you.
You did.
Well, that I don't like that. Now we have nowhere to go.
We can do, Hey, I'm Norm. You can find me at.
Are we gonna do that one thing? Like, I don't want to, but like, I feel like I should bring it up.
Kind of seems like you want to.
I feel like I need to prepare more for that.
Wouldn't you be the one that guesses?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna cut that out of the last episode probably
Oh.
because it just was not good.
Didn't you already post it?
No.
Oh,
not
okay.
yet.
What? That was quality. Anyway.
No, it wasn't because he was just like, mine was fake, by the way.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't good.
Spoiler, I guess, for something that's never gonna come out.
So anyway,
Tanner, where can we find you?
I don't.
At Podge Snyder.
That's the one.
On Twitter.
Like rarely. Like if there's nothing to complain
comes
about,
on-
then I'm not there.
He comes on to tweet something political or the podcast link, and then he goes back to his cave.
Sometimes I make jokes.
Usually about politics.
That is true.
I'm going to pull up the last thing I tweeted and see if you're right. And if you are, I'm going to cut this out.
Norm, where can we find you?
You can find me at Unhappy Bananas on most everything. Computer's down, so I can't stream anymore. So I am taking donations. But yeah, you just I don't know. You should tweet me pictures of Cyber Yogi. I'd appreciate that.
My last tweet was about the LA riots. So.
It's like I know you and have your tweet notifications on.
Emily, what's up with you? Where can we
Who
find you?
knows?
Man, these are very political.
Yeah.
This one's kind of funny.
Is it political?
Read it to the class.
Huh? It's about when I was binging John Oliver for like a day.
Which could arguably be political.
Arguably. But I was binging John Oliver, and then like the next video, like I clicked off of it, but the next video had a Febreze ad at the beginning, and I was watching it for like the first 5 or 6 seconds. I was like, oh no, what am I about to learn about Febreze?
That's a lot to fit into a tweet.
But I did.
You can find me at the Queen Kaiju everywhere. Twitter, Instagram, Twitch. I do stream, so I would also like donations.
She does stream.
I'm trying to buy a car.
I have a clicking sound coming from my computer and will be offline until I figure out what it is. I'm pretty sure it's a fan and no big deal, but...
Aren't you the one that, like, repaired computers for a
yeah,
living
here's
for a
the
bit?
thing. I basically go to bed as soon as I clock out now because I'm just exhausted from
That sounds like...
dealing with people
That sounds like
for 9
depression,
hours.
my friend. You good?
Yeah, a little bit. But mostly it's just for... Never mind. I'm not going to drop any names.
As soon as we hit done. Spill. Anyway.
Thanks for listening, y'all.
Sorry, Mom.
Bye.